I mean, like you have almost 30 years of experience, right? So it's
That's right.
like 3 decades. So I mean, like if I talk about your journey, so mostly you have enjoyed, uh, into teacher's role, right? So I mean, like, so according to you, what exactly is the real meaning of a teacher, and what exactly the role of a teacher?
See, the role of teacher is to be the guide on the side, I would say. You know, this is the most important thing. You need to help your student along, because every student is a different student. It's not one formula that you have and you will fit it, put the student in, and you come in, he comes out with your mold. It's not. It's never that. Each student has his own style of learning, his own place where he is, and his own pace of learning. And a good teacher allows, recognizes, and enables him to, uh, you know, uh, achieve the same outcomes which all his other fellow students are about to.
Okay, and according to you, what are the most important skill a teacher needs to have, or if they don't have, so they have to work on to develop those skills, the most important skills?
Yeah, see, one is the life skills which every profession needs to have, the communication skills every professional needs to have. So there is nothing special about a teacher. What is special about a teacher is his ability to listen, his ability to decipher what he is listening to, his ability to recognize, and all this has to be done dynamically and instantaneously, because he does not always get a time to go back, think, and come back with a solution. Although he should learn, there is no shame in acknowledging his ignorance, but then he should go back, work, and come back and provide appropriate things to the student. And this is something which a teacher should have the ability to do. He should have good listening powers, and most importantly, he should not take himself too seriously. He can't say, "I am the teacher, so listen to me." I think that's the worst, mental setup a teacher can have. Uh, while that ego is very very highly satisfying and it keeps you going. I don't think that really helps when it comes to the students.
Okay,
So,
so
so I would say listening skills. I mean, as a professional, you have all other skills, and these are relevant to all professionals. But for a teacher, he should have that listening skills and understanding human beings. Treat everybody, every human being, whether he is a student or a colleague, as a human being, and see how.
okay, so because as a teacher and as other profession, so there is a lot of difference, because as a teacher you have like a lot of workload is like too high. Okay.
Yeah, you find that you are doing about 60% of the things which you could have avoided, which you don't like. Uh, Unlike many other professions, there is a lot of workload which comes the teachers' way, and teachers have to take the initiative of doing these smartly. You know, so take advantage of technology, be updated with the technology, use that technology, use your students' help in case you want to be updated with the technology, because students are much better at using the technology than you. They're well informed. Today, the teaching learning material is probably accessible for everybody. It's the same learning material which is available with everybody. You need to help students how to use that material, how to search that material, how to decipher between what is required and what is not required, and build the right concepts and right ideas using that material. I think that's the ability which teacher should have.
And I mean, like as a teacher, if I talk about your, the good things about as a teacher, so what are the things which you like the most? That okay, these are the things I like the most, and that is the reason that you should also come into this field.
Two things you like the most. First is the fact that if you are a good teacher, there is this class of 60 students where majority of these students will like you, and there's no other profession which will give you such captive fan club. And if you're not doing well, it's turns out into a hate club. Then obviously you will not like. But wanting to do well for the sake of the youth, I think that's the most important satisfying factor. Second thing is you are always with younger people, so your mindset is younger. I think that's something which you can't forget. And the third and the most important thing is you are helping somebody else at a time when that person is totally bewildered as to what kind of a world he's entering into. And once you see those unsuspecting youngsters going out in the wide world and do well, you know that you chose the correct profession to be in, because you in some sense, you know thank god that you were there helping the student. And at times you say, oh, he's successful, he's managing his way, so I didn't really misguide him in any sense, to say the least. And if some of them, when they do come back and tell you that this is a specific guidance I got and which came in very, very handy, I think that's immensely satisfying, and you start believing that you have become wiser um, over the years, and that wisdom has helped others. I think that's a satisfaction which is unparalleled, and for that satisfaction, you must come into the teaching profession, because the most important thing for mankind is to have the right kind of leadership with the right kind of values and the right kind of abilities to be at the forefront of, you know the way mankind is progressing. And that's the most important. Uh, you uh, you you want an Obama at the leader and not an Osama. Yeah. So it's the teacher's job to make sure that the leader is Obama and not Osama. I think when you look back and see what you are capable of doing, I think that's incredible. This is the satisfaction. Two things you must remember: yes, there will be money. Every professional will earn that money. A professional is one who helps the society, who is useful to society. The society will look after you. So it will look after you in some form. Either you'll get work and you get paid. But this is a profession where, actually, when we entered, the money was not there. But today, the money is very reasonable, very what I call respectable amount. It's not exhilaratingly and rich, this thing. But at the same time, it's not, there is no compulsion to lead a very poor life for a teacher who comes into teaching profession today. In earlier days, the teachers were supposed to be simpletons. It was a noble profession, which meant there is no money. I think it's the things have changed. There is enough money. Uh, Only thing is, I want a person to choose teaching because he likes teaching. Yeah? He likes to do what teaching, the challenge which teaching throws at him, and he wants to be doing that. That's, I think, why one should take up a teaching profession.
And if there are like good things, so there are some challenges as well. So as a
Oh,
teacher, what,
humongous.
yeah,
Go ahead, complete the question.
yeah. So as a teacher, like what are the biggest challenges you have faced and how exactly you manage all those challenges? Because if you have the challenges, you also have to build the ability to manage those challenges. So how you did
Yes.
that?
How I did that, I don't know. Looking back at it, I think life was very forgiving for me, because I'm sure some of the challenges I have not really succeeded in all of them, overcoming all of them. Even now, today, there are some challenges which I don't think I want to overcome either. uh, See, every step it's a challenge. The first time you take a lecture is a huge challenge, but once you get the hang of it, once you get the pulse of the students, it becomes a great experience. So it's very important that you are on a learning curve all the time. You want to tell your students that it's a lifelong learning process, uh, and if you stop learning, you can't be a good teacher. And you are learning from everything around you, including, and most of it is from your own students, the kind of challenges they throw at you. you know Students come with a better explanation of things, better understanding of things. They are able to think creatively ahead of you. Some thoughts which never occur to you, having taught a subject 4 to 5 years. There will be a student who will come and tell you, look, this is what it is. I think that's a challenge. So if you have an open mind, you will accept that. If you have a closed mind, if you do not have those listening powers, you will get upset with yourself and then take it out on your students. I think that's what is the most important. At every step, it's been a challenge. Leadership position is a challenge. Suddenly, first thing you feel is, oh, I'm not the leader. I'm the boss now. Everybody should listen
Yeah.
to me. You're not the boss to make everybody listen to you. You're the boss to help everybody, uh, overcome their own challenges in their life. These are realizations which, once they come through, the job becomes easy and you are easily able to overcome. Because each individual who is in supposed to be your so-called subordinate in teaching, there are no subordinates. They are all colleagues, with a leader, no doubt, and each has his own ability, both mental and physical, physiological. He will perform according to that. It's your job to identify what the abilities are, and play to the uh, advantage of the abilities of your team. It's like a game of cricket, and expecting everybody to be a Tendulkar is not that. So these are the kinds of challenges. Challenges, as a teacher, you encounter. Uh, you need to deal with things which affect the student outside the learning process. His family, friends, his own surroundings, maybe even financial situation, maybe his inability to learn, which is affecting him. I have faced so many students who who have come with, sir, I'm not able to pass this exam, I'm not able to do this, I want out. And I have been able to help those few who, who managed to come to me. Uh, there are also failures. I mean, nobody can be a god that you helped everybody. But if the student finds a way to navigate in this world and survive and earn his bread and grow, I think that's your job as a teacher. And if you have guided him in that, it's a done process. You need to handle students who have tried to take different paths which are not acceptable to the society. You really need to help the student understand that, behave accordingly. Unfair means you need to help students understand that life is not fair, uh, because the fairness in your mind is not the fairness which is practiced in life, and you need to recognize that, and say, okay, this is what I can change, this is what I can accept, this is what I will avoid. You know, this is the kind of wisdom every student will have to develop, and it's the job of the teacher. This is the biggest challenge a teacher has, is help each one of his students understand the importance of the skills he needs to pick up, the basic knowledge he needs to be proficient in, and push himself into creating and applying that knowledge and trying to solve problems. These are huge problems, because depending on where you are, the size of the problem could be big. If you're a teacher in the classroom, a student is not understanding, that's a problem. But if you are a head of the department and student is not understanding one of your colleagues' class, that's a problem of a different type. You have to counsel both the student and the colleague. And if you are a dean, and if something is happening in some class, it's a huge problem. So this is how, the size of the problem goes on changing, depending on which where you are in that this thing. What is most important is, every challenge is an opportunity, and every opportunity needs to be converted into a success story. So you try and convert each opportunity into a success story. Some you will, and those will really be very satisfying. And some you don't, some you win, some you don't. Is way life is.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, you have been to the leadership position. So, if you have to compare both the, roles you have done, so which one do you think was the most challenging for you?
Every role has been challenging. Every role is training on the job. Okay, but I have been lucky that I had a mentor at every level, and I have benefited from these mentors. I have had wonderful colleagues uh, whose counsel I have benefited from, and I think I really need to acknowledge the fact that my success is a result of people who had faith in me, both my superiors as well as my colleagues, and that's how you overcome the challenge. The most important part is your people skills, your ability to understand people's needs and work accordingly.